Ninah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ninah, H-L-O to the U-R. Since 2013, interviewing stars. I guess even back then, you can call me CEO of the Lour show. Oh, fresh off the new year, about to drop season 3. When them interviews come out, press play and see. Like, share, and comment. Don't be a hater, baby. Real, recognize real, make sure your cards is right. When you sit next to the bridge, keep it 100, aight?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in to a very, very special edition of the Lour show. I'm your girl, Lour, aka The Bridge. April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day, and the month of April is Autism Awareness Month. Today, we're going to enter into the world of a very special woman by the name of Michelle. Michelle has 2 children with autism. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Welcome to the Lour show.
Thank you for having me. And on behalf of all parents with an autistic child, I want to say thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm more than happy to do this. So you have 2 children with autism.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna start with James.
Okay.
All right. James, when was James diagnosed with autism?
He was 9.
9. Okay.
Yes.
At what age did you realize that something was wrong?
Around the age of 3 and 4. Okay. Right around that age.
Okay. Can you describe some things he's done around that age that made you think something isn't right?
Just no facial interaction. Very wanted to be, play by himself. He was playing with things where they just sit for hours and just
stare.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gaze into things, okay. What are some of the day-to-day challenges that your family faces with having children with autism?
It actually depends because with every child it's different. It could be transitioning, simple as, no school and they're used to the school routine. It could be you're supposed to do something with them and unfortunately plans change. Or it could be they're just having a bad day. It could be something really loud. There's numerous different things that could, set them off.
All right, so your other child has Asperger's?
Yes, he has Asperger's, which is the higher functioning of autism. He has the higher IQ, but lacks the social cues and interactions that a typical, child would be able to do.
How old was he when he was diagnosed?
He was right around the same age, give or take.
Okay. All right. What are some of the symptoms that James has with this disorder?
When he was younger, or he would start rocking, just continuously rocking. Couldn't handle loud noises. No facial, communication with you. If he fell, he didn't want any type of affection like a typical child would be, want to be hugged or whatever. He didn't want to be touched. That's just some work.
Prior to being diagnosed with autism, what are some of the diagnoses that you received?
A lot of the back when it was earlier, before autism was well aware, it was known as developmental delay. So when James was around 3 or 4, he was getting services, but it was for developmental delay. It wasn't for autism.
Do you think that things would have been different if they caught the fact that he had autism sooner than later? Or
Absolutely.
What advice would you give like a parent that just found out that their child has autism?
Knowledge is power. Research, lots of research. Utilize a support group, find a local support group, and go by, just reaching out, other parents or, the schools provide, technical things where they teach you about different things. ABA, which is behavioral, where they teach you how to deal with, daily changes.
I know you had mentioned to me there was like a website that you found very helpful as well.
Yes, it's www.autismspeaks.org, and there is community autism resources, which is very helpful as well, where I found my support group for when James was diagnosed. And it's very helpful to have other parents that understand what it's like to get that first diagnosis, what to do, what do you look for, what do you, just what do you do?
Yeah.
The initial blow was like, okay, he's autistic, so what do I do?
Yeah, where do we go from here?
Exactly.
Okay. So like James is how old now?
20.
The big 20.
I know.
Oh my God. So I mean, like I'm having this interview and people don't know. Like I used to care for James. I was his home health aide, and I never told you this, but like the first day that I came to your house, and you was like explaining to me like what I need to do to care for him and to to understand him, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be no problem. And then James came up the stairs and he came through the door, and like the look on his face, I like almost stopped. I'm like, oh God, what did I get myself into? In my head, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But I ended up staying there for like almost 3 years. Like, he was like the greatest kid in the world. Like that's my oldest son, I like to say, and he's such a sweet kid. Like, do you think that people? I know you probably know people. That like see, because they like to have like tantrums. Would you call it like tantrums or
It would be more like a meltdown.
a meltdown? Okay.
Tantrums are different, that's like, to me, in my opinion, is when a child is having their fit because they can't get a toy.
Okay.
A meltdown is totally different. There's too loud, or just, it could be anything. Somebody bumping them. It could be, it's not, there's a difference between a tantrum and a meltdown.
Okay. That's good to know. So it's more like a meltdown. Do you, as like James and then Sean have an Asperger's, do they both like suffer from like meltdowns, or is
Yes.
Are they similar meltdowns, or?
They're both different. I mean, not only is it obviously two different parts of the spectrum, but they can handle different situations. My oldest can handle different things, like he can handle loud to a point, whereas James, when it's too loud, can't handle it.
Okay.
So there's two different things.
How did you educate yourself on autism?
Once I got the diagnosis of autism, I did a lot of research, went online, went through support groups, and they showed me different things where I could go, and I got to the point where to fight for what they needed was exhausting. Because as a parent, you don't know the laws. And if you don't know the laws, sometimes, people can take advantage of that. So that's when you call in an advocate or an attorney. And they are able to push because they don't have the emotional part of it. They can say, they know the laws and what needs to be done and what the kids are entitled to. So that's very critical. If you don't know, or if you're unsure, educate yourself. Lots of research, and if you still feel you can't do the fight anymore, get an advocate, get an attorney, whichever you can afford. Sometimes there's advocates who do it pro bono. So it's the point of getting somebody that can go in and make the schools do what they need to do for the children.
So James goes to Cardinal Christian.
Yes, he goes to Cardinal Christian. My advocate actually got him into Cardinal Christian because he was not handling typical school, regular school. We tried all the different things, different classes, different things, and he just wasn't able to handle regular school. So we got him into Cardinal Cushion, where they were able to teach him how to handle different situations, and how to just to develop. And he's come such a very far way that, he's totally different than when he was 9 years old when he started there.
Yeah.
He's now 20, and he's just, sky's the limit with him. He's just thrived.
Yeah, that's good.
And with kids with autism, they can do anything. As long as they have the services and the supports, they can do it. And the point I make is that if with all that, they can do this. It's important. Teach them. Once they get the diagnosis, don't leave them, okay, they're autistic, they can't do that.
Yeah.
They can do it.
I understand. So your oldest, he didn't go to Cardinal Christian.
No.
Do you think he should have? Do you think that he was, do you think that would have been?
No, he went to a different school. He went to a school, but it wasn't obviously Cardinal Christian, but it was a school to help handle some, how he can't handle different changes.
So he wasn't in a public school?
No, he was in a special school as well.
Okay, so that's good. Is there anything that you would like to put out there that we didn't touch upon regarding autism, Asperger's, or anything like that?
Knowledge is power. Absolutely. If you don't know, find out, research it, take advantage of the support you have or you can get. Websites, books, whatever you can find, get whatever you can so that you know what to do in a typical situation or what to do when something's not going right. And because it goes minute by minute sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They could be totally fine and then something happens and then you're like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to do that. You need to be ready.
Are there things that either your oldest or James suffer from by having this disorder?
Sometimes with autism or on the spectrum, they can have a mood disorder as well. Which they both have. There's different things. My key point is when kids are tested through school systems, if you don't agree with that evaluation, you are entitled to a second opinion, which the school system is responsible for. So if you don't agree, get that second opinion and compare and speak to somebody that can go over it and say, okay, which one is right and what do we do if, this is what's needed. And once you get them the right place, you know, there will be change. You know, you will see a difference.
Okay. Well, I do have like a couple of websites that I took. www.autismspeaks.org. Is that the one you mentioned?
Yes.
Okay. And then I have www.nids.nih.gov. Have you ever heard of that website?
I haven't heard of that one. That doesn't mean it's not out there.
Okay, so it is www.ninds.nih.gov, and then there's www.autism/society.org. Have you been on that website?
I haven't. My main ones that I went on was the Autism Speaks and the Community Autism Resources websites. So those are the two that I utilized.
Okay. I do have a couple of quotes that I picked up as well. There's one that says, God created autism to offset the excessive number of boring people in the world, which is cool. There's another one that says, I hear things more loudly, I hear things more clearly, I smell things more strongly, I feel things you don't, I taste things differently. I have autism. It's also cool. And then there's one that says, children with autism are not given to strong people. They are given to everyday, ordinary people. Raising a child with autism doesn't take a special family. It makes a family special.
I like those things.
Yeah, I love them. Again, is there anything else that you want to touch upon before we go into the next segment of the Ninah Lour Show?
Knowledge. Just make sure you always.
Knowledge.
Exactly.
Like read up.
And I'm so grateful for the supports I have that have been there. They know who they are through his diagnosis. So if they weren't there, I wouldn't have known what to do or how to do for him. So I'm very grateful for the supports I had. So, you know, when you find the supports, you know, utilize them and they can help you. So I appreciate all the supports that I've gotten for him.
And last question, like, you being a mother, taking care of, not only your two sons, you have a third child as well. Like, what do you do for you?
I try to give myself as much space, like if they're not home, that's me time, or if they are home, you know, I try to give myself space, you know. There's time where you know you can take that 5 minutes or, you know, half an hour or whatever you can give yourself, but you need to, it's so important to give yourself 5 minutes and or whatever you can spare and just to regroup. Because if you're exhausted and you're agitated, kids sense that. So it's so important to go give yourself space. And then you're able to regroup and go, okay, I can do this.
Now, I'm just going back. I did read upon, like, or not even just read, like, just working with James, like, children with autism, they have, like, how do I say it? Like, they have, like, no fear, almost. Like, they don't really think, like, okay, this is bad, I shouldn't do this.
They don't understand that, you know, okay, if I run to the street, you know, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Or if I go and do this, you know, that's not a good idea. And that even goes with Asperger's or across the whole board. They don't know all about that, you know. And that's a key point, is that they don't know right from wrong. They have no fear, you know. So if just talking, like they don't understand like that what they said hurt, or that they shouldn't have said that, and they can't understand when you're looking at them because you're angry or whatever reaction you have. They're not able to pick up on that. So you can give them that look and, stop, and they're not even gonna know what that look means.
Yeah.
Your reaction, if they are able to talk, is gonna say, what? That was James's favorite thing, and he still does it. What?
And also, I remember we used to do sign language with James, to eat. We would do this. And does he still do this, or has he grown out of that?
No, he's now to the point that he vocalizes very well what he wants. When he was younger, we did the PEC system, which is where you take pictures of the routine of the morning, the nighttime, or throughout the day, where the child knows this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And it's very helpful to have, especially if they're on the lower functioning, that they know what to expect. Typical, could be something simple like, I brush my teeth, I get dressed, etc. That they need to know that routine.
The next segment of the Ninah Lour show is an astrology game that I play. And you have to guess which one is the characteristic of a Gemini. The first one is a blank can find logic and reason in even the most difficult situations. The second one is blank get irritated easily. And the third one is tell a blank not to do something and they'll do it ASAP. Which one would you say is Gemini?
I don't know.
Want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Alright. Tell a blank not to do something and they will do it ASAP. A blank can find logic and reason even in the most difficult situations. Blank get irritated easily.
Well, irritated easily is Cancer. I can say that one, I believe. Could be wrong. So I'll go with your second one.
Which one is that? Is it tell a blank not to do something and they'll do it ASAP, or a blank can find logic and reason even in the most difficult situations?
That one?
That one is absolutely wrong.
I told you I wouldn't probably know.
It's alright.
Fine.
It's
I don't know them all.
It's okay. I love when people get it wrong. No, sir. I love when people get it right, but you got it wrong, unfortunately. But the Gemini is tell a Gemini not to do something and they'll do it ASAP.
And I'm Gemini, that's bad.
I mean, not everybody gets it right. The next part of the Ninah Lour show is pet peeves. So everybody has a pet peeve. If you can give us one of your pet peeves.
Oh, I have several pet peeves. Let me think of one. When you're watching something and people interrupt, just constantly in the middle of your show, and it's like, you're like,
Shut up! Let me watch the show.
phone's ringing, people are coming and going. Yeah, that's a
pet peeve. Okay, so your pet peeve is let you watch your shows, basically.
Exactly.
Alright, very understandable. One of my pet peeves, I have several as well. I hate, well, I'm not gonna say hate. One of my pet peeves is when people ask you questions that they obviously know the answer to.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's like, come on, don't ask me that. For a mother dealing with 2 children with autism, you look very great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for allowing us into your world and made us beautiful shirts. If you want to show us our shirt.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
Shout out to me and RX Pandemic of the Sound Lab.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But yeah, so thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into this very special edition of the Ninah Lour Show. Today is April 29th, 2016. It is my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mommy. May God bless you with many, many more. Also, it is my twin nephews, Royal and Xander's 5th birthday as well. Royal and Xander were just recently diagnosed with autism, so this interview or this show is definitely a dedication to them. So happy birthday, guys. I love you. May God bless you all as well with many, many more. I love you to the moon and back. And also my cousin Junior, love you, bro. Happy birthday. And, you know, it's also special that we got to talk about James and Sean. And, you know, this definitely is a dedication to them as well. As always, leave your questions, your concerns, your comments. Like and share this interview. And yeah, I have Mother's Day special interviews coming up for the month of May, so watch out for those. Until next time, stay blessed, never stressed, and as you know, my grind don't stop because the time won't stop. And I'm out.